Hello everybody, and welcome back to my lovely YouTube channel. For those of you who are familiar with my readings, this is the Scorpio season vibe check, and you can go ahead and check the description box below to navigate directly to your respective reading. And for those of you who are new here, the vibe check is a monthly tarot reading series where we explore the unique state of each astrological group. We'll be using the power of the tarot to tap into the wisdom of the universe and gain clarity on the energies and influences that are impacting your life. We'll explore past, present, and future to help you gain a deeper understanding of your current situation and provide guidance on how to move forward. Before we dive into the mysteries of the universe, please consider the following disclaimers. Tarot readings should not be used to make major life decisions. The cards can provide guidance, but ultimately you're responsible for your own choices and actions. Tarot readers cannot guarantee specific outcomes or results. The cards can provide guidance and insight, but ultimately you are the one who determines your own path. Tarot readings are subjective and open to interpretation. The cards have different meanings depending on the context and the reader's intuition. And last but certainly not least, these readings are for confirmation, not clarity. If you're hearing something for the first time today, please be sure to check in with yourself, your spirit guides, and your higher power to be sure that those messages ring true for you. And without further ado, this is the Scorpio season vibe check. You can find your respective astrological group in the description box below and navigate directly to your timestamp. Hello everyone, and welcome to the Scorpio season vibe check. We're gonna go ahead and start off with water signs. So if you are a Cancer, Scorpio, or Pisces, just grab yourself a nice little drink, a snack, sit back and relax while we dig into whatever energy is approaching you, guiding you, etc. during the Scorpio season. Alrighty, let's give ourselves a good shuffle. We got nice and cleansed, so it's time for a good shuffle. And Spirit, just let me know, what information do you guys have? You guys, ooh, I said you guys. I never say you guys. That kind of makes me feel like during Scorpio season, water signs, your spirit guides are coming to you. Your spirit guides are coming to you. They want to send you messages. They want to give you maybe some information. I want to say for some of you, it will be warnings. For some of you guys, it will be reassurance. Reassurance comes always. Look, this is already reassurance. You're a badass being full of life, love, and possibilities. Through this deck, may you find your path to your best self. Let's hold on to that as an affirmation. And Spirit, can I get one more really guided message for the water signs? Something from the tarot. Thank you. All right, obviously the sun is shining upon you in this season, so you guys have the sun card. You guys are really being embraced this season. You're really being called to embrace some sort of a childlike wonder during this season. Like, I think if you're thinking about exploring different hobbies or trying new things, you should definitely jump right in with both feet. Kind of look at yourself like a child moving through the world, just trying out new things without the fear of looking bad, without the fear of not being good, but kind of just that childlike fascination of just wanting to be involved, having a sense of curiosity and kind of like a worry-free attitude when you're jumping into new things. You're really being guided by your spirit guides. I can see that in the Chariot. The Chariot represents that, you know, these two sphinxes are your spirit guides, and they're kind of setting the path out in front of you. You know, for a lot of you guys, I feel like it's a new path being carved out for you, and it's being carved out specifically for you. I get the image of kind of like a forest or a jungle or a land that hasn't yet been settled upon, and your spirit guides are coming through, kind of like chopping down the trees in front of you so that you can just ride right through, you know, have a kind of seamless entry into this new path that you're exploring. And it's coming through in the Hierophant as well, but the Hierophant is a little bit more thoughtful. It's kind of saying, you know, sit down with yourself, go inward via meditation, yoga, journaling, cooking, whatever it is that you do. For some of you guys, it could be like really working with your hands, building something, doing pottery, or, you know, building a model or drawing or anything. Really sit down with yourself and practice that hobby that brings you inward, that brings you into a flow state, okay? That sets the mood just right for you to have the proper self-reflection that you need, because a lot of the answers are coming to you in more subtle ways, in ways that, you know, they might not necessarily be like a physical sign. It might not be your angel number popping out. It might not be 444 or 888, but it might just be like an inspiration to just do something new, use colors that you have never used before, use materials that you have never used before. And it kind of is a light bulb moment, so to speak. That's what I'm seeing with the Hierophant and with the Chariot. So just know, water signs, that you guys are being really divinely guided. There's not a lot of coincidences or mistakes happening for you in Scorpio season. These messages and these signs are things that you're just simply meant to have. With the Justice card, I can see that the scales are kind of tipping in your favor. You're seeing a lot of things balance out for you guys. I think whereas you might have been really overwhelmed in one area or underwhelmed in another area, you're kind of seeing things balance out. You're able to make more time for the things that you want to do, and you have a very clear understanding of what it means to have a necessary evil in your life. You know, like you might want to start the business, but the necessary evil is paperwork. You might want to, like anything you want to do, there's always going to be a piece of it that involves formalities, that involves maybe something that is not as glamorous as, you know, the bigger picture itself, or is not as glamorous as, I guess, the media makes it out to be. But you're coming to the realization that it is very necessary for you to accomplish these things, for you to get these kind of to-dos checked off your list. And I kind of feel like in doing so, you end up righting some wrongs. I feel like water signs, it's not necessarily that people have done you wrong, but it's that your perception of reality is that things are happening for you in a very unfair manner, which is really not the case. I mean, it could be the case, but it's no more unfair than it would be for anyone else. Life is unfair, and you guys are coming to the realization and the clarity during the season that there are going to be some things that you have to do that you might feel like you didn't sign up for, or you're not a fan of, or you didn't manifest this, or you didn't pray for this, but it's a necessary evil. It's a part of accomplishing whatever it is that your bigger picture is. And so you must move forward. You must get it done, whether you like it or not. Okay. And again, with the Knight of Cups, it's that energy of your spirit guides coming and making an offering to you and saying, you know, this is what I want you to have. This is what I want you to embrace. This is what I want you to kind of, it's kind of like they're giving you the gift of this childlike wonder. They're giving you the gift of exploration, of curiosity, of just, play. They're giving you the gift of play. And it's something that, like I said, again, with the Justice card, I can see you guys have kind of been feeling like you've been wronged in some ways, feeling like you might be overwhelmed in some ways. And Spirit is really giving you the gift of play and the gift of inspiration. And you guys have an affirmation of you're being a badass being. You're full of life, so live it, okay? Don't feel like you need to go close yourself behind a wall, close yourself behind a door, and you're not allowed to see light, and you're not allowed to have fun, and you're not allowed to breathe fresh air. No, you are allowed all of these things. Yeah, you might have to get some serious work done, but you are allowed joys of life. So just remember that during Scorpio season, when you embrace the joys of life, love and possibilities. You can start to experience things and start to kind of unlock a lot of those things that you have been manifesting and wishing for. Water signs. Let's get down to the advice cards. You know, if you follow my readings, you'll know that I always start off with a sort of picture being painted, and then we get into kind of advice with our traditional Rider-Waite-Smith decks. Okay, so let me just get a good shuffle for you guys. Spirit, what advice do you have for the water signs? Okay. All right, so you guys are coming into a season of very good fortune. That's what I can see with the Wheel of Fortune. But you guys also have a habit of self-sabotaging, because you have this idea in your head that good fortune is not meant for you and that you're meant for some sort of suffering in life. And not necessarily, like, it's not something you guys have really been able to verbalize or something that you guys have really been able to speak about, but it is something that you guys feel deep down within you. And I might be really pulling your cards right now. I might be really reading you right now, because this is something that you guys have been kind of putting a facade or putting a mask over. You know what I mean? Like, you guys have been pretending that you don't believe this and that you think you deserve so many great things, and you might even walk around and just give off that energy like you're manifesting and you deserve and you're destined for greatness and all these different things. But deep down, you guys really don't believe that. I can see you don't believe that, because you're kind of like, it's a cycle, it's a wheel. It's like when the wheel turns for you, it's like you get something good and then you go into this self-loathing, like, oh, I have this good thing, but let me just take a survey of all the different things that can go wrong. You guys go down like that worst case scenario path very, very often. And it's kind of like you guys in your head, you just tally off like, okay, I have this good thing now, worst case scenario this, worst case scenario that. Like, you guys have a list of all these different worst case scenarios that could happen when something good happens to you, when you get something that you manifested. And it puts you in this trap. It kind of traps you in, it makes you feel very small, it closes you off, it makes it so you start to procrastinate, you start to kind of, you don't put your best foot forward. You know, you don't work to your potential. You have like this crazy imposter syndrome. So you can't really speak about the things you want, or you can't really verbalize the things you want to communicate to the people who matter the most in these situations and scenarios. And sometimes it's like, when we say the people who matter most, I don't mean like your friends and your family. Obviously, like in the grand scheme of things, the people who love and uplift you are the people who matter most. But on this level, the people who matter most are the people that can give you a leg up, the people that can open doors for you. You can't speak in front of them. You can't verbalize your thoughts in front of them. You kind of freeze up. Your reactions are all over the place. And it's because you feel like you're being wronged. It's because you feel like this stuff is happening to you. Like, you guys might manifest like getting into a new position or like a promotion or something. And then you get the promotion and people start giving you the work that job title that's under that job title, you know, like in that job description. And you feel like, oh, why are they doing this to me? Like that. You guys go through this cycle a lot, and you need to stop that. You need to get out of it. You need to kind of like put your big girl panties on in a way and allow yourself to be who you want to be. Allow yourself. And that might mean you need to crack open a book after hours, study a little bit, get a better understanding of what your job is and how to live up to it. That might mean you need to ask for questions. You need to ask questions. You need to ask for mentorship. But these things are not happening to you guys, okay? These are things that you prayed for. These are things that your spirit guide is saying, this is what you asked for. This is what I'm going to give to you. So Get your tally together of worst case scenarios, because I know you're going to do it anyway. Get your tally together, burn it, crumple it up, rip it up, do whatever you want with it. Make a list of best case scenarios. Don't keep going down this path. Don't keep making yourself feel so small and so short and all this stuff. And when you get a task that you feel is beyond your purview, ask for a sample. Ask for an example. I find it really, I find it hard to believe, but that's wrong to say in this instance. What I really want to say is that nothing that we're doing right now is brand new. It's so brand new that there's not already an existing example of it. So find that example, mirror that example, make it your own, and flourish. Okay? Do what you're capable of doing. Okay? Rarely ever is it that somebody is just able to jump into something and be great at it with no training, with no examples, with no mentorship. Like, people have mentors. People have examples to follow. So find yours and take advantage of them. Don't be afraid to ask for help and ask for guidance and ask for mentorship. Don't be afraid to ask questions, okay? With the King of Wands, I'm seeing kind of like a message of you needing to stand your ground. It's saying stand your ground. Because when you're going through these little phases here, there's always somebody ready and willing and capable of taking your spot. And Spirit is saying, do not let anybody in this Scorpio season take your spot, okay? You guys also got the Death card, and I feel like what that means is like you guys really need to put these behaviors to bed. Like, you know, everybody has their own process and everybody has their own kind of, what am I trying to say? Like their own way of doing things, but this way of doing things is outdated. It's very childish. This is not a way of doing things that's going to get things done. That's the way of doing things that's going to always make sure you have an excuse to say why you haven't accomplished what you want to accomplish, why you feel like you're underrated and underappreciated and you don't have money and you don't have this and you don't have that. It's childish. You need to put your big girl panties on, or big boy panties on, or big they panties on, and you need to get it done. You need to stop making excuses. You need to make space in this season for love as well. And I'm going to read from the book for my oracle deck because, ooh, your guides. What did I say? Your guides are coming for you. You guys are coming for you. When it comes to love, I think you need to make space for loving yourself. And what loving yourself looks like is giving yourself the opportunity to fail and learn and grow before you automatically write off like what's possible and what you're capable of and all these different things, okay? Let's go to the guidebook and let's read what it says for love, okay? A message from your soul. It says, I only have one message for you today, an important one. Love yourself. I do not try to find love in others. I do not look for a mirror in which to see It says, do not try to find love in others and do not look for a mirror in which to see yourself. You're creating emotional dependence and you're running away from your own love. By loving yourself, you can create healthy relationships and situations in your outer life. Your soul is wonderful, but as an incarnated being, you are imperfect. What did I just say? You need to give yourself the opportunity to fail, to be less than perfect. As are all of the people around you. You've had experiences that you view as mistakes. Just like everyone else, you have been clumsy just like everyone else. You have felt that you were taking a wrong path just like everyone else. Love yourself in that complete imperfection and clumsiness. Your soul is perfect, and by experiencing imperfection, you can connect to the energy of wisdom. That was beautiful, and I think in a lot of ways that kind of just sums up everything I wanted to say here, and it's also exactly what you needed to hear. So that was a very good message. And then from your guides, I've already been talking about your guides this whole time, but let's see what your guides have to say. I'm reading this message from your spirit guides. Everything depends on you. You may feel like you're in a singular situation, but your role right now is not to intervene. Whether through signs or messages, You're not in danger. You're not going into the wrong direction or making the wrong choices. You are an intense energy of free will. Everything depends on you. A blank page is before you, and you need to decide what you will write. The counsel we give you is to connect with the law of attraction. Visualize what matters to you. Act in accordance to these visualizations. Concentrate on what makes you feel alive. And you and only you are the creator. Okay, this is kind of summing up what I was trying to say right here with the Hierophant when I was saying get into a flow state. I think what I was trying to say, which I really wasn't like hitting on the head, was sit down and visualize. Come up with a vision. Come up with a vision that feels so good and so true that you don't see no way of it not happening. You don't see a way where there's no world where it's not coming true. Okay, that's what your guides want you to do, because your guides are giving you the vision. Your guides are downloading you with some real life, real future. You're getting a glimpse into the future, basically, in a nutshell. You're getting a glimpse into the future, and it's meant for you. And you need to put the self-sabotaging behind you. Let's get the affirmation going. This is your affirmation. I am free to believe. Wow. So definitely incorporate turmeric into your routines during Scorpio season. Definitely get like all of the yellows in wherever you can, whether it be food, whether it be just colors that you're existing around, whether it be clothes that you're wearing. You're clearing away beliefs, energy, and memories that no longer serve you, so the necessary decisions will be made. Okay, your statement is belief, and your affirmation is I am free to believe. Rid yourself of the idea that something is coming too late. There's no such thing as too late. Now is the perfect time, and even if it is too late, you might as well get started, because time is only going to move on. Okay, that is your Scorpio season vibe check, water signs. If you need any more information, please connect with me via my website, zoesintuition.com, and I will see you on the next reading. Bye. Okay, fire signs, join me in take 2 of your Scorpio season vibe check. This is my second take because the first take, the camera wasn't on. So I'm gonna try this again, and hopefully it's just as good as the first one because you guys had a really beautiful reading. If you are a Leo, Sagittarius, or Aries, this is your Scorpio season vibe check. Let's get right into it. So, what I see for you guys during Scorpio season is kind of a rest and release period. You guys are still in a period of very active manifestation, but instead of dealing with like the difficulties that you have been dealing with for, I would say, the better part of 18 months, you guys are kind of getting a little break, a little message from spirit to say, you got this, just hang in there and don't lose your faith. During the Scorpio season, I feel like you guys can expect to be very romanced just by the spice of life itself. I don't necessarily see like a big flare coming in with a romantic partnership, although some of you guys are really enjoying romance in a way that you've never had. It's remaining pretty consistent in terms of like your romantic partnerships, just dealing with what you have been dealing with, but you're going to be really romanced by the spice of life, meaning you're going to find romance in very non-traditional ways, or ways that we wouldn't necessarily describe romance. And for some of you guys, it's going to be kind of like going back and finding something that feels very nostalgic to you, that you can just pour a lot of your time and energy into and feel very good about. So you can look forward to that. I see you getting very intimate with the self. That's what I'm seeing in the Lovers card is you're getting very intimate with the self. Like I said, finding something nostalgic, maybe going back to a childhood activity or something that you used to find joy in before life got so serious, before you had like financial responsibility, so to speak, and really just enjoying being able to take part in that again and do that again and have it be something that you can do to release stress, something that can exist for you in a stress-free environment, and also something that you're not attaching like monetary gain towards. But you might see monetary gain from it because again, life is romancing you in a very beautiful way during Scorpio season. With the Queen of Wands, I can see you guys are really tapping into like your divine feminine energy, even if you're like very masculine as a masculine person reading this, like you're really tapping into very divine feminine energy. It's something that's very readily available to you, and that is like prime manifestation energy. From that energy you can create anything. You When you think about it, women are the source of creation. Of course we need our male counterparts to aid us in creation, but women are really cultivating and giving birth to life. And so tapping into a divine energy, no matter where on the spectrum you are, can be very, very beneficial to you. That's where you can find a lot of your manifestation power. But also, it's kind of like it's where your manifestation power comes to fruition. And your masculine energy, that is like the labor and the work of, you have to kind of package up that manifestation and present it to the feminine side of yourself for the feminine side of yourself to really bring it into fruition. So this is spirit saying that all that all the things you have been working for working for are right. They're it's right within your reach, like you can pretty much brush it with your fingertips if you want to. You just have to bring it forth, you have to bring it to fruition. And by doing so, you just create space and time for rest. Spirit doesn't want you kind of like in that motion of an active pursuit. Spirit wants you to sit back and relax and really exercise faith, really exercise more abstract ideas when it comes to manifestation, things like belief, hope, faith, things that are, traditionally very synonymous with feminine energy. And that's what I can see here in the Four of Swords. With the Chariots in reverse, it's just another iteration of you not going to an active pursuit. When the Chariot is upright, it's signaling forward movement, and it's signaling you being led forward by your spirit guides, like a path being carved out for you by your spirit guides. But in the reverse, and especially for you guys in this season, it really really speaks to kind of sitting back, and even like your spirit guides are taking a break and taking a rest and kind of sitting back, and they have the vision, they have that third eye, that vision. Some of you guys might have it too, even if you don't believe, in visualization. But just Spirit wants you to practice visualization and, sit back and just enjoy the vision and just watch the vision kind of like paint itself to life. You know what I mean? I really hope that makes sense for you guys. Uh, it's just like I said, another message behind you resting, like not pursuing an active manifestation, but more so just kind of like manifesting with a vision. Okay, that's what's coming through with the Chariot. It's like the vision is there, you just have to let it materialize in front of you. And with the Ace of Cups, there's a very large outpouring of just love and adoration. I feel like you guys are going to be getting a lot of flowers this season, metaphorically or in actuality. There's just a huge outpouring of love for you guys, and I feel like also a huge outpouring of love for you guys from yourselves. Okay, you guys are really starting to see like some of these things you work so hard for coming through. And for some of you guys, it's kind of reaping the benefits of doing a lot of shadow work, reaping the benefits of, the meditation practices or the working out or just like the journaling or the praying. Like, you guys are really starting to reap the benefits of this, even if it is just on an emotional level. It is going to be on a physical level and it is going to be verbalized to you guys, but it's going to be very subtly on an emotional level in the way that you feel and also the way that you look. Okay, like when you're looking in the mirror, you might find yourself a bit more beautiful. You might find your eyes being a little bit brighter, your skin feeling a little bit more clear. You might feel like your body is a little bit more mobile. But during this season, fire signs, you guys are going to get the break that you have, that's due to you. You're going to get that rest period. And you guys have been working so hard, and I feel like you guys have been really like knocked and blown about by the winds of change and the winds of life. But this season is your season. You would think it would be a water season, but it is, but it's your season too. This season is for you guys, and your spirit guides are giving you this as a gift to say, like, we see you and we're so proud of you for not giving up. We're so proud of you for hanging in there because it's not been easy. It's been extremely difficult. Another message in nostalgia, yeah, definitely go back in your mind. I was going to say go back in time. It's not really going back in time. It's just revisiting some things that you have so loved, and that have brought joy to you. And I feel like in this you're going to be rediscovering kind of like a karmic path for you, rediscovering a little bit of your dharma, and just going back to some things that you used to do as a child and really pouring into those hobbies in a way that doesn't necessarily mean like a way that doesn't necessarily mean that there's like a monetary goal attached to what it is that you're pursuing. And these are advice cards. If you're new to the reading, this is just painting the picture, and this is the advice. So the advice, first piece of advice is to go back, find something from your past that have had created a spark in you, that you can revisit and revisit it as just a joyful hobby. We have the five of swords in reverse, which is again a message to rest. And the five of swords, it's kind of like a battle that has been fought, kind of like a vengeance that has been taken. And what I feel like is going on here with you guys in this divine feminine energy is that you are seeing a lot of things come to fruition, and you are kind of like seeing your manifestations um just start to ignite. Like they're not fully playing out yet, but they're just starting to ignite. And spirit is saying, do not move into this with a spirit of vengeance. Take a minute to sit back, take a deep breath, rest, bring yourself back down to reality so that you're not moving forward in a manner that says, I told you so. You might even feel like people are coming back to you and revisiting old conversations and things, and you might be feeling very right in a lot of things, but you're not to take this ideology of I told you so. You're not to take vengeance. You're not really supposed to be trying to collect swords and collect ha-has and, you know, and don't be in that spirit, don't be in that nature. Just be in a nature, be in a spirit of moving forward, be in a spirit of inspiration, and continue to find your inspiration. If people are circling back to you and you are having these conversations where you feel like I told you so. There's absolutely nothing wrong with that, but take that energy and channel it into your own self confidence. That's what the Page of Wands is saying to you. Take that energy, channel it, turn it into, instead of vengeance, turn it into self confidence, turn it into inspiration for you to keep moving forward and keep going, because all that is a vote of confidence. All that is you being able to tell yourself, I can trust myself. Sometimes I sometimes I am right. Sometimes I do have it figured out. I don't always need to listen to what everybody else is doing and what everybody else has to say. And not every missed opportunity is an opportunity. Some of those missed opportunities were doors that just simply needed to close, and doors that I simply needed to walk through. And that's where spirit wants you to channel all this vengeful energy, all this kind of like spiteful, haha energy. Okay. And then with the Six of Swords, it is a message again to go back in time if you can. If you can go back in time without going back in time, so to speak. So, all this energy here, all this stuff that you have learned over the past 18 months, all of the ways that you have grown, you're taking that up and you're going back and finding something to channel that energy into. that thing that you have forgotten, that hobby that you've lost, that thing that you have forgotten. You're kind of going back with what you know now and revisiting it. That's what the Six of Swords is saying in its reversal. And these are my oracle cards that I pulled for you guys. You guys got a karmic message, and then you guys got a message for regrets. And I'm going to read from the book for these because they are oracle cards and they have a very unique meaning. We'll start off with the karmic message because it's more so something for you guys to look into. And this is going to be sort of like your ritual for the Scorpio season. So it says, this card is here to help you connect with your psychic abilities. Take a moment to visualize the card. I'm going to hold this up for you guys so you guys can visualize it. I hope that it is somewhat in focus or you can get a picture of it or something. But take a moment to visualize the card. You're invited to receive a karmic message from your soul, your spirit guides, or an entity. Write down what you feel. Take a look at the card for as long as you need. You're invited to see a message on your own, beyond the card's description. Be confident in yourself. So, everybody knows the famous saying about karma, what goes around comes around. That's kind of coming through in here, but it's also coming through in here and here. Okay, this is coming through in you guys kind of going back in time, finding that thing that you used to love. It's coming back around for you guys, and it's coming back around for you guys as your smarter and wiser version of yourself so that you can actually do what needs to be done with it. Let's read your message of regrets. I feel like this is a message from yourself. I think your spirit really wants to rid you of regrets or rid you of yeah, rid you of regrets or feeling like you need to do stuff, certain things. You guys know what I'm saying. Anyway, let's read from the book. It says, part of your energy is caught in regrets. You feel you have missed something important, which brings you great sorrow. You may be regretting a choice you've made and looking to turn back time. This isn't necessarily a good idea. Remember, you always do your best with what you have. You always make the right choices when you make them on your own. Regrets create a heavy inner burden, which disconnect you from your inner beauty. They also create blockages inside of you, disconnecting you from your solar plexus chakra. Then you may be caught in an inner struggle, letting yourself be guided by negative thoughts. This isn't right for you. Take time to understand the source of your regrets. Write them down and release them. This will allow you to create space for new actions. And this is all tied into everything that I've been saying here. You feel like you missed an opportunity. You feel like you might have listened to somebody else and you're realizing now, and even that person is realizing now that they gave you bad advice, and you're thinking, "Oh, I wish I could go back in time." But you don't need to go back in time. You can go forward in time with the Page of Wands. You can find that energy again and you can reinvest it into that thing that you feel like you lost. And this time it's going to be so much better for you guys. So, yeah, definitely journal on karma and regrets this season. This is definitely a message for you guys. This is something you guys need to work through and unearth, especially in a time where you can be resting and not actively pursuing a manifestation. You can just be resting and letting that manifestation unfold in its own. This is your time to do some inner work. And this might be considered shadow work as well. So for your affirmation, it's I take action now. And I feel like it's not to be misconstrued with pursuing a manifestation. It's just taking action on your regrets, and it's just taking action on your hobbies and all those things that you say you're going to do. You're going to learn to roller skate, or you're going to go back to making music, or you're going to do this or that. Take action and just get into it. It doesn't have to be for monetary gain. It doesn't have to be tied to some greater goal. It could just be for the joy of doing. Okay? So you will find clarity in the ability to create now. This is your time to make things happen. I'm going to read that again because it was choppy. You will find clarity and the ability to create now. This is your time to make things happen. If you find yourself this season saying that you don't know where to start, counter that statement with I take action now, and you just start. You just go. You just book the class. You just buy the materials. You just do the thing. Just do the thing. Fire signs, this is a beautiful reading, and I feel like I haven't had such a beautiful reading for you guys in so long. It just brings so much joy to my heart that this is where you guys are. Definitely leave a comment for me if you feel like it resonates with you and share it with a friend. This is all that I have for you guys for the Scorpio season. So until next time, if you need more information, you can visit my website, zoesintuition.com. Thank you so much for joining me and have a wonderful Scorpio season. Bye. All right, let's get into earth signs. Spirit, please, what is the information? Oh, sorry, you know what? If you're a Taurus, Capricorn, or Virgo, this is your vibe check for the Scorpio season. We're gonna just consult with Spirit on what energies are guiding you and approaching you during the Scorpio season. So just sit back, grab a drink, grab a snack, and relax while we consult the tarot. Spirit, what messages do we have? What messages do we have for earth signs? Taurus, Virgo, Capricorn. Spirit, what information do we have for the Scorpio season? Spirit, can I just get one more piece of information, one more message for the earth signs for Scorpio season? All right, let's see what we have. So it seems like for you guys this season, there is a lot of, like, you guys are standing very solidly on what you believe. And I'm not going to speak on whether it's right or wrong what you're doing, but I'm going to say, what I will say is that you guys really need to make time to sit with yourself beyond distractions, and just develop a firm understanding of where you are. I think you guys are going to be coming upon a few kind of like misunderstandings amongst your friends. This Two of Swords is a little concerning, but I'm gonna get to that in a minute. But with the King of Pentacles, it's like you're standing on very solid ground and you're in a place that is just very materialistically solid, so to speak. So you feel very comfortable, you feel very secure, and when your physical surroundings are so solid and so secure, you might just automatically feel like it's obvious to you that you're doing everything right because your life appears to be so peaceful, so calm, cool, and collected, and just not in a state of turmoil when it comes to just things like living space, like financials and things like that. Like, it's very easy to feel like you're doing everything right. However, clearly you're at odds with friends and people that are close to you. There's an emotional misconnection or disconnection, and I'm not sure that it's something that you guys are fully noticing. So really sit with yourselves and understand where you are, and what you're doing, and just all the different little like emotional things that you're focusing on, because like I said, I don't know if what you're doing or how you're feeling is right or wrong. Only you're gonna know that. But don't go into it with an attitude. Don't go into this season with an attitude of like you not being able to do wrong, because sorry, I am at war with this housefly, and I have this spray bottle because I want to make it heavy. I want to make it so it can't fly because I need to get it out of my house. Anyway, yeah, you don't want to go into a situation thinking that you can't do any wrong, because a lot of this is not based on right and wrong. It's based on perception, and it's based on individual realities. And one thing you must know is that everyone is living an individual reality that It's separate from your individual reality. And to be successful in relationships and friendships, you have to make space for other people's individual realities. You have to know that your reality is not the only reality, and your reality is not solid gold, okay? With the Justice card, I kind of see you guys coming into balance just with the way that you're understanding things and approaching things. I think that spending time alone this season is going to really bring a lot of balance and clarity to your life. It's going to bring understandings to you that kind of, with Libra, with Justice representing Libra, I feel like allow you to not only verbalize, but communicate in a much better way. So Scorpio season is a season of understanding for you. It's bringing you to a place of much better communication. With the Two of Swords, before I started, I kind of felt a little concerned about it because it seemed a little bit like you guys were closing off, like you guys were kind of, it seemed like you guys were kind of closing off, like you guys were kind of taking an approach of just feeling like you were right and what you said is the only thing that matters and the only thing that goes, and you don't want to hear anything else. But with the understanding that I get as I read along, I kind of feel like what it is that you guys are taking a minute, or you're being compelled to take a minute to step back, to, it's not closing yourself off, but it's just taking a step back to come to an understanding or sort out in your head what's actually going on and how you should approach it, because you don't want to live a life of solitude just by thinking everything you're doing is right. Okay, you want to have friendships, you want to learn, you do want to grow, but in order to do so, you have to take into account every individual reality of the people around you, especially the people that you're really at odds with, or that you're really feeling like you're not connecting with. And also, you need to stop lying to yourself, and you need to stop lying to yourself by saying like, everything's all good, everything's all good. My life is great. I have a great job. I have a great home. I have things. You need to stop lying to yourself, because you really are craving emotional connection, and you're never going to be able to get it until you're able to be alone, earth signs. So with the Page of Wands, I see that you guys are embarking on a new journey, kind of like an emotional or spiritual journey. I do feel like you guys are going to be spending a lot of Scorpio season in solitude, whether you like it or not. You're going to have to learn how to like get on and maintain in a space of being alone. Because in being alone, you kind of will start to realize where your strengths are and where your weaknesses are, and where you want to like grow into your weaknesses versus where you want to align with people that are strong in your weaknesses so that they can be strong where you are weak, and vice versa. You guys are really taking a journey to kind of balance out and level out kind of these perceptions in your head and these ideas you have about the way like your life should be and the way your life should look. You're moving more so into the way your life feels, and realizing that it's not always about the way things look. A lot of it is about the way things feel. And deep down inside, you might have this King of Pentacles facade put up, but you don't feel like the King of Pentacles because you don't feel like you have solid friendships. You don't feel like you're really connecting with people on the level that you want to connect with people on. Ooh. Let's get into the advice cards. Ooh. Spirit, what advice do you have for earth signs? What advice do you have for the Scorpio season? For the earth signs, death. Scorpio season is putting so much to bed, and it makes sense because Scorpio is existing at the bottom of the ocean, and truthfully, as an earth sign, going down there, it does kill you. You know, you can't take the pressure. Not only can you not take the pressure, there's no oxygen, there's no light. All the things that bring life to earth, they don't exist on the bottom of the ocean. It's just pure feeling on the bottom of the ocean. And a lot of you guys are not really used to existing in that place of pure feeling. But what it means is, what the death card means is that Scorpio season really wants to kill off these false perceptions in your life. Scorpio season is saying enough is enough with the superficiality. There are time and spaces and places for that, but right now you need to focus on feeling, and you need to detach yourself from this earthly perception and this earthly facade. Like, you need to disconnect yourself from flesh and connect yourself with spirit, okay? That's what's going on with you guys. Sorry, this is not the death card. This is the devil card. I'm so sorry. Although everything I said still stands, the devil is more so representing disconnecting from flesh, disconnecting from like earthly things. So if you feel like a lot of your life revolves around romantic relationships, money, titles, possessions, you're really being called to disconnect from that, okay? And fill yourself up with emotion, with feeling. That's what the Ace of Cups is. You see that cup represents emotion, and it's a water symbol, okay? It holds water, but this cup is overflowing because it just has so much feeling that it cannot be bottled up. And what is it flowing into? The ocean, okay? There's all the signs and signals are there. Scorpio season is a water season. It's a deep, it's an emotional season. Earth signs, you guys are being called so much to just sit with your emotions and sit with your feelings. It's something that you guys are really not used to doing. And it's something that a lot of you guys are going to have to probably try to do multiple times. Some of you guys are going to probably be fine with it and be okay with it. Like people that have more Mercury in their chart or more like Virgo in their chart, are probably going to be a little bit better at getting it done the first time or the second time. But the more even like a little bit of Venus, if you have that Venus in your chart as a Taurus, you might be okay. You might be a little bit better at it. Capricorns, you guys might have a really hard time. But I say that just to say that it's not a one and done, and it doesn't have to be, and you don't have to be ashamed that it's not a one and done. You just take your time with it, okay? And you call on your tribe, you call on your team. The whole point of the Page of Wands, what I was saying there was, you know, aligning yourself with people who are weak where you are strong. And there's this element of shame and ridding yourself of shame in those areas of weakness and not running from it. Because what I see here, the signs, is that you guys have really, really strong people around you. Like the people that you're at odds with, even, they will make space for you. They will make space for you to learn and grow, and they'll be there for you. And they're not going to take it personal if you disconnect, if you say, I need time alone. You don't even have to say it to them. They're already going to know, okay? A lot of these people are already going to know what it is you're doing and what it is you're going through. And it's something that you can feel good about, because what you're doing is you're taking a step away so that you don't end up here, or so that this ends up as shallow as it can possibly be. It doesn't become a deep misunderstanding. It becomes a very shallow and fixable misunderstanding. I hope that makes sense to you. And with the Knight of Wands, I just see the Knight of Wands as he's charging into this Ace of Cups. He's charging headfirst into this Ace of Cups. And the Knight of Wands is full of emotion, you know? You have a Page of Wands and you have a Knight of Wands. So this is, the Page of Wands is inspired and excited and just very understanding of her emotional journey. And the Knight of Wands is like, he's charging into it. He's moving a lot faster physically than the Page of Wands. He's not as intuitive as the Page of Wands, but he wants to get it done. You know, he has a thirst for understanding in this way. Not only to understand his own emotions, but to understand everyone's emotions, people's emotions around him. And with the Ace of Wands, it's a green light. It's just a green light to get going. And I feel like the Knight of Wands is kind of moving through these cycles in a way, you know what I'm saying? Like the Knight of Wands may have started out here. Sorry, I'm so sorry, you guys. The Knight of Wands he may have be starting out here, but he's moving through, you know, like he's pacing through these. And I feel like you guys might have been pacing through these, but you might feel like you're right here in the journey. Just say like everything comes full circle. You might feel like you're right here in the journey and you're just coming upon this time in this space where you're full of you're just full of emotion. This fly is not getting the best of me. Anyway, you're just full of emotion, or rather, like, more so because you've been through this Two of Swords moment. You notice she's blindfolded, so she's having a moment of reflection within. It's kind of like you see this imagery inside of you, and you're just getting ready to jump into it. You're just getting ready to, like, dive into that cup and just feel it overflowing. And then the devil would be the last step of where you're just, like, fully kind of making a separation inside of yourself between flesh and spirit. And, like, earth is a very fleshy symbol, you know what I mean? Like, earth is a fleshy element, I would say. Like, it focuses a lot on the flesh, just innately, and there's nothing wrong with that. I think what spirit is getting to is that there's a duality within you that you have yet to honor, and you're coming into a place where you're going to be honoring your duality. Let's get into the oracle cards and see what oracle message spirit has for you. A message of freedom. Okay. A message of freedom. That's a message from spirit. And a message of peace. These are both messages from spirit. So I'm going to read them as messages from spirit. Give me 1 second, because oracle, you always want to kind of get the real meaning or intention. But I feel like these are both messages from spirit, and I want to read them directly from spirit rather than giving my personal interpretation of them. Okay, so you have first a message of freedom. This card is... Sorry, I had to catch my breath. This card is here to help you connect with your psychic abilities. Take a moment to visualize the card. I hope that's in focus, because I don't really know. Take a moment to visualize the card. You are invited to receive a message of freedom from your soul, your spirit guides, or an entity. Write down what you feel and look at the card for as long as you need. You're invited to see a message on your own, beyond the card's description. Be confident in yourself. So there's something that you guys do really need to detach from. There's some ideal, some perception, something that's really so deep within you. It might come from childhood, I don't know. But you need to take a moment and give yourself freedom from this idea. And I think for a lot of you guys, it's a perfectionist thing. Like, maybe you haven't dove into your emotions so much because you think it's an imperfect thing. It's such an imperfect thing about you. You kind of feel like it makes you kind of a mess, or it might make you a little clumsy, and you're just enslaved to this idea of freedom. You need to really detach from it. And this is what's going to bring you peace. You got a message of peace as well. This card is here to help you connect with your psychic abilities. Take a moment to visualize the card. Okay, once again, you're invited to receive a message of peace from your soul. Again, write down what you feel. This is the same. Basically, you have a message of freedom and you have a message of peace. And sit down with yourself, go inward, especially have this Two of Swords moment, and figure it out. Figure out what you need to detach from, because that's what's going to bring you peace. These two things go hand in hand. It's one and the same. Okay? Let's go ahead and find you an affirmation so you can move out. Whoa, I don't know what's going on with you guys. Where you're moving out from. For some of you guys, it's like you feel like if you're not aligned with certain people, if your friendships and relationships don't look a certain way, that they're no good, that they're not going to be of value to you. It's like you feel like you're successful based on who you're aligned with. Ooh, your affirmation is, I'm willing to learn from this, okay? Take a moment to collect some items that are blue, some items that resonate with the throat chakra a little bit, because a lot of your freedom is coming from verbalizing different things, even if it's just to yourself in your home alone, even if it's just recording a voice note that you can listen to, like in the morning when you're doing your morning routine or when you're in the shower. Like a lot of it is coming from you verbalizing and creating like that vibration of speech in your throat that can be very freeing and very releasing, and very soothing. So your affirmation is, I'm willing to learn from this. It says, lift yourself above your life situation and observe as a witness. Understand that you are so much more than the story. This is making so much sense. Yeah, you guys are enslaved to your relationships. It's like you feel like your relationships need to look a certain way. And if they don't look a certain way, then you have failed. If you're not aligned with certain people in certain ways, then you're not successful. And it's crazy because it's like you have everything around you that looks successful, but you feel empty because your relationships are not matching up with this idea of what you feel like it's supposed to be. And your trigger statement is, I need to fix this. If you ever feel like in Scorpio season right now, you need to fix something, you're going about it the wrong way. You don't need to fix anything. You need to learn from it. And when you're constantly going around and trying to fix things and trying to be right all the time, that's when you're causing these moments of argument, of misalignment with your friends and your family and your, I don't know, partner or whatever, I don't know. But you know. Anyway, that's your message for the Scorpio season. If you're looking for more information, please feel free to connect with me on my website, zoesintuition.com. And otherwise, I will see you on the next reading, okay? Have a wonderful Scorpio season. Bye. All right, let's get into it with the air signs. If you're a Gemini, Aquarius, or Libra, just go ahead and grab a drink, grab a snack, sit back, relax, and let's get into the vibe check for the Scorpio season, okay? Spirit, let me know what information you have for air signs during the Scorpio season. What energy is approaching them? What energy is guiding them? Who is guiding them, if anyone? And how should we be moving through the tides of Scorpio season? Spirit, can I just get one more message? One more. Thank you so much. I feel like Scorpio season is going to be very, very good to us, earth signs. I can already see in some of the cards that are coming up and some of the energy that's approaching us, what's happening. How did these come out? That came out last, right? It was like this. All right, let's see. So we have the 5 of Wands in reverse. Wow. Okay. So I feel like Scorpio season off rip, it's giving patience, it's giving the energy of not being rushed, and it's giving the energy of like putting old things behind you. A lot of cards in reverse, so let's take our time with these messages. So with the 5 of Wands in reverse, I can see like we're going to be moving pretty seamlessly through challenges during Scorpio season. I feel like there's going to be a lot of space allowed for air signs to kind of figure things out on their own. You're not in a place where you need to ask a lot of different people for advice. You're really being encouraged to just follow your own intuitive way. You'll notice sometimes when you ask for advice or when you ask for consults, or even when you start doing a little bit too much research in your own, how things start to get confusing. You might start to second guess yourself. During Scorpio season, the intuition is working very much in your favor. It's very strong, and you can just count on yourself to give yourself the answers you need. You'll be moving seamlessly through any challenges or just, you know, energies that you're facing. You're going to be moving pretty seamlessly through them, just for the simple fact that you don't need a lot of consult. You can kind of just follow your inner compass. And that's what I can see with the 8 of Wands. The 8 of Wands is kind of just like moving along gracefully, moving along quickly, catching on to things quickly, embracing the information that is being thrown at you during this season. I just see a lot of intuition and a lot of information coming down. And for us, it means different things for everyone. But in this season, there's a lot of trust in self. And there's a lot of just positive messages, signs, and information coming down and being downloaded to you. With the Knight of Swords in reverse, I can see that we are not in a rush. We're moving, once again, we're moving pretty gracefully. We're not in a rush. We're kind of burying old habits of being hasty, and also old habits of reverting, like going back to old behaviors, going back to old friendships and old... You're kind of shedding the need to have a sense of familiarity around you. You're embracing a newness, and that's what I can see in the Six of Cups. It represents nostalgia. It represents a childlike feeling. It's kind of you meeting your inner child and just having some of those experiences that bring back that childhood nostalgia. And for a lot of air signs, all of the time, it's happening in the area of communication. So it's like exes, it's old friends that you've separated from that you're going back to, and you're kind of bearing that need to like go back. I think in our society, we put so much value on longevity, the longevity of a relationship, and it kind of causes shame for people to sometimes say like they are not friends with people that they were friends with in the past. But we're kind of shedding that, air signs. We're kind of moving beyond that and just moving forward from that, and it feels really, really good to see it played out in the cards. Even with the King of Cups, it's like the cups do represent emotions, and the cups are very good with emotions, but the King of Cups is more of a save yourself kind of figure. And I think it operates more in ego, especially in this reading. It's saying you're putting your ego aside, and you're saying like, I'm not going to jump out of this kind of like emotional sense of loneliness and go back to old behaviors just to save my ego, or just to like not be the subject of shame, even if it's just your own narrative of shame. Like, this message is coming through very clearly. I don't think I actually need to spend as much time as I thought. It just is very apparent that there's a lot of forward movement and a lot of clarity and just strong sense of intuition in the Scorpio season for all the air signs. And we're just moving swiftly. We're burying the past. I think a lot of the hard work has already been done. But yeah, just burying the past and getting rid of those old relationships. And even if it's not getting rid of, it's just putting distance between, or detaching the sense of self-worth from it maybe. But there's just a lot of forward movement. There's a lot of forward movement. And like the need for nostalgia is not there anymore. I think a lot of people have been fighting with themselves, who they might have been in the past, and just things they might have been doing in the past, who they might have been close with in the past, and wanting that back for all the wrong reasons. And it's something that you're really putting behind you. You're kind of seeing things really for what they are. With the Justice in reverse, it could be kind of tricky because there might be some ways that, wow, okay, basically with the Justice in reverse, it says that you're not getting justice and you're not getting understanding in some areas where you feel like you've been in this place of like misunderstanding and misalignment and disagreement. You're not going to find justice there, but you are moving forward. You're moving forward despite the injustice, okay? And it's an emotional injustice. It's like you kind of want, you want to get you want to get your revenge. You want to get your look back. You want somebody to come to you and say, oh, I was wrong. Like, I should have been this way. And they're not coming back, and they're not doing that. And you're just going to move forward from it. With the Knight of Wands, it seems as though you should kind of move abrasively into accepting injustice is existing, that an injustice exists, and that you don't need to spend your time, you don't need to spend your energy harping on it and focusing on the fact that it's there, like the injustice is there. Dive right into just accepting that for what it is. Dive right into accepting the injustice. That's the best thing you can do for yourself, and that's the advice Spirit is giving you. It's going to be easy for you to do once you accept the fact that it must be done. I feel like with the High Priestess, there's a lot of inward focused energy during Scorpio season. You'll probably be called to like do really meditative practices, even if it's not just the simple act of meditation. It's meditative practices. It's going inward. It's self-reflection. It's visualization, and it's downloading you with the energy of acceptance. Okay. There's a lot around the energy of acceptance right now, even just with your emotions, especially with this King of Cups in reverse. It's kind of like, instead of jumping out of the turmoil and saving yourself, you're kind of like sinking into the turmoil with an energy of acceptance so that you can smooth things out, at least in your own reality. So for you guys, air signs, a lot of energy is being focused on your own reality. I think oftentimes air signs are guilty of understanding everyone else's reality, whereas like you're not really getting understanding in your own reality, and you're being encouraged to just focus on your own reality. Don't spend too much time understanding where other people are coming from, although like it's something that comes easy to you. It's like innately within you, like you're just an understanding human being. You need to focus on your reality, and you need to focus more on what things are happening for you. Okay, to you, for you. Even if it isn't an injustice, it's like it's kind of like you can, what am I trying to say? It's like you can move on from it. You can accept it. You can accept the fact that things are not always going to be pretty. Things are not always going to be in your favor, and especially in relationships. I think you're also going to accept the fact that like your relationships can exist at different levels. They don't always all have to exist at the same level. And like some people you might have different kinds of connections with. So for some people you might have a really deep connection with. For some people you might have a really surface connection with. And just because you've known someone for a really long time doesn't mean that you have to have a deep connection with them. And you're bringing acceptance to that. There's a lot of acceptance going on, and a lot of acceptance of injustice. Repression and anger. Ooh. I wasn't expecting that, but let's roll with it. I think these are messages from you. So that's what I'm going to read them as. I'm going to read them as messages from you. Both of them are messages from you. From your higher self. Or your lower self. Sorry, there's a housefly in here. All right. It says, your anger is causing interference with your energies. It is disrupting your heart and sacral chakras. It's also causing you great impatience. You feel that everything is against you and that others don't understand you, and that everything is happening to slow you down, overwhelm, and block you. But the outer world is not your enemy. It is the echo of your own energy. Today, I invite you to understand the source of this anger. It is old and it has become a crutch for you. You think you need it, that it helps you fight, but it just keeps you in an energy of struggle. It disconnects you from me, your soul. Release this anger, it isn't right for you, and preventing you from feeling grateful and being in the joy of the moment. By smiling, you will connect with me again. Through compassion, you will hear my voice, and through liberation, we will be reunited once more. So release your anger. Yeah, that's a definite 5 of Wands message here. Like, you need to release your anger. I need this housefly out of here. Like, seriously, I need it out. It's been in here for days and I haven't been able to get it out. It's driving me crazy. And it might be trying to send me a message, but I don't know what it is. It's making me angry. It's like, let me stop. Anyway, this is a definite Five of Wands message. Like, it's calling you to release your anger. Even like when we see this Five of Wands, if it was flipped upright, it would be saying like there is a conflict, and there's a conflict because there's so many people involved that you don't have clarity, right? But when it's in reverse, it's saying release all those opinions, right? Like, you can have compassion for those opinions and for those standpoints on things, but these opinions are not happening to spite you, okay? They're happening because people exist in their own individual realities, and they're allowed to think and feel how they think and feel, and they're allowed to act the way they want to act. And it's not something for you to be angry about. It's just something for you to package up, compartmentalize, and store, for you to focus on your own feelings about it. And if that means like you get a little separation from somebody because you can't align on a certain something, it's not something for you to be mad about. It's not something for you to say, oh, this person doesn't understand me and they're not even trying to understand me and blah 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 blah. It's for you to say, I'm packaging that up, I'm compartmentalizing it. I definitely honor where this person is coming from. However, I cannot make space for it right now, and I'm just going to focus on what this means for me. That's what releasing your anger is going to look like during Scorpio season, okay? Let's look at repression, because repression is screaming at me right now. And there's an eye there. It's like grilling into my spirit. 22. Part of you is repressing something important, which is affecting the progress of a relationship or project. You may be feeling internal impulses to stop thinking and doubting. That is me inviting you to turn outwards. You may be feeling withdrawn, which is perhaps not right for you. So I'm guiding you with wishes and ideas. When you feel like going out, meeting new people, talking, going new places, traveling, or even moving, that is me guiding you. You need to release all that is blocked inside of you. Let go of particular objects to free yourself from the past. You'll need new reading material to connect with a new frame of reference. It's been repressed for so long, but you now have all the strength and wisdom to face it. Remember, you are not alone. I am with you. Listen to me and leave your comfort zone. Be spontaneous and follow me. I'm showing you the way to freedom. Yeah, you guys need to spend a lot of time going inward. These wishes, these ideas, these things that are like pulling and tugging on your soul, this is how you're going to get rid of this like repressed energy. You have to express it, okay? Even like it says going out and everything like that. I know like air signs, I'm an air sign, so I know like you haven't been feeling it, and it's because of this. It's because of this Five of Wands energy where you're feeling misunderstood. You're feeling like sometimes like, oh, you just want to talk to your friends about something, but there's always a conflictive energy where like you feel like you can't get the thought out, or maybe like before you can get the thought out, maybe they're jumping in with their thoughts and you haven't fully expressed yours, and it's giving you an energy of like repression where you can't fully express yourself. You can't fully like talk to them about all the things you want to talk to them about, and it's because you need to go out and meet new people. And I know it's energy. It's like you haven't been feeling like meeting new people. You haven't been feeling like doing that because all you have space for is depth right now. You're on a journey and all you have space for is depth. And so like meeting new people, it's like you kind of have to go through the motions of small talk and all these different things. But it's like you're already going through those motions with your friends. You're already going through those motions with the people that are quote unquote close to you, where you can't get the thought out, where everything has to be so surface level because they're not making proper space that you need to be made for you. So go ahead and follow your soul, take your time with it. But it says very clear as day, I'm guiding you with wishes and ideas. When you feel like going out, meeting new people, talking, going to new places, traveling, or even moving, that is me guiding you. And if you've had that inkling deep down in your soul that you want to travel, that you want to meet new people, that like there's certain people that you want to interact with, maybe it's people that you haven't seen in a long time and you want to get face to face with them, yeah, you need to listen to your soul. I don't think there's a whole lot more I can say on it, because it's really like inside of you. That's why the High Priestess is here and the Hanged Man is here, because the Hanged Man represents acceptance of responsibility and sometimes acceptance of a certain reality. Wow, intimacy. Why is that here? A certain reality. And it's innate. It's not something that can always be verbalized or can always be just like simplified in human language, because a lot of it is feeling. So yeah, you know, create an acceptance around certain injustices that you feel like are upon you. And from there, you can move on to kind of finding justice in those spaces, okay? Justice might exist somewhere else, basically, is what I think Spirit is trying to say. You need to accept injustice where you are so that you can move on. Your true statement, your affirmation this month is, or this season is, it can only get better. Allow yourself to experience more joy and love. Raise your resonance by swimming in the sweetness of life. Okay? You're being called to focus on intimacy, to find intimacy. And I don't mean like getting out there and searching for like physical connection. I mean like finding true intimacy, where whatever that means for you. And I feel like for a lot of you guys, it's available to you and you're avoiding it for fear of getting hurt or fear of it not being what you believe it is. But dive into it and just see what it is. Part of like heartbreak is a part of life, guys. You can't run from it. If you find yourself saying this is too good to be true during this season, you need to reevaluate that, and you need to understand that things can only get better for you. Because even in the context of something being too good to be true, even if that was actual like factual reality, you have to get through the things that are too good to be true to find better things. You know, you have to experience heartbreak to find love. You have to experience pain to find joy. Like, one doesn't exist without the other. And the more you find yourself in experiences, the more you create an understanding around like the duality of life and what it means. Like, even in the High Priestess, we see these two elements of duality, and it's really important. It's really, really important to accept them and to coexist with them and to make space for both of them in your reality. So even if you find that the individual that offers intimacy also offers heartbreak, understand that it just brings you one step closer to self-discovery, understanding, and joy. That's all that I have for you guys for the Scorpio season, air signs. If you need more information, visit my website, Zoe's Intuition, to connect with me. And that's all. I'll see you guys on the next one. Bye.